Solutionaries out there. What is going on? This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. And we have some incredible guests up inside of the cafe today. I can't tell you how exciting it is. It's also got us even like a little starstruck. Like we're a little like, you know, I mean,
absolutely.
It's
well, we got to spend a little time with them at NADA, had a quick conversation while they were at the Poly booth, and man, was that booth amazing. But to sit there and have a conversation with them, let them know how much we honor and appreciate them was really great. I'm excited that we have them on the show.
Right now.
We got to invite them. They're like, sure, we'll come on, right? So I sent out a message, got with their assistant, got it all set up, and man, shout out to you, Veronica. Hello, you killed it out there. We appreciate it, and let's keep this thing moving. And we are excited, man. So we have a show today that's going to blow your mind. We have two people that are revolutionizing the way that we look at our news when it comes to automotive. They have so many amazing people that come onto that show and just speak about their product. They speak about the industry. They talk about what's happening in the past, present, and what's going to happen in the future. Man, if you need your news, that's where you go, to CBT, right? And that's where it's at. And I'm excited to have them both on the show. They're both great hosts, and you'll see what I mean when they come up. Their studio is gorgeous. It is what I call the place to go, the epicenter of what is all about. It is the CBT News crew, right? So let's go.
That's right. So car guys and car gals, do yourselves a favor, do your friends a favor, and do the auto industry a favor, and tag a car guy,
tag a car gal,
and share this around. Let's go ahead and get inside of the cafe. We're still doing some sharing right now. There are so many groups you can share too. And let's keep this rocking, but let's go ahead and open up the doors. Let's open up the floodgates for the one, the only, and a car guy and a car gal together, Mr. Jim and Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
We're so excited.
So good to be here.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Yes,
man.
we're excited to be here.
Woo, thank you for being here. Yeah. Welcome to the cafe. Gotta know, quick question. This isn't part of the Five Lana. This is not it, but dark roast or medium roast?
Medium roast.
Medium roast.
There, okay.
Right,
yes.
That's some of this right here. We're going to make sure to get you some of those good beans.
Oh, nice.
But welcome to the show. Can't wait to get this rocking. Fred, what an exciting day in history for us.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And we're glad to have you here at the cafe with us. Well, thank you. We're glad to have you at the cafe. We're going to have some fun. Well, first thing we do before we do anything, before we even get into the 5 questions, it's we forgive, we focus, and we fly.
That's right.
These are 3 words that really mean a lot to us. We call them the F-bombs when we go places, but they're real F-bombs. And when we do this, it's a big deal. And we want to introduce you to this. Lou, why don't you tell them what it's about?
So we make sure to wipe off the weight of unforgiveness, anything that's slowing us down, whether from others or from ourselves, get that off our shoulders so that we can free up these hands to get focused on where it is that we want to go, who it is that we can help, and what we want to accomplish. And then we stretch out using that faith, and we fly, and we keep growing, and we keep going to different heights like we are doing right now, taking it to the studio with our friends over at CBT. So excited, but we forgive, focus, and we fly. So help us do that on 3. We're going to get some of this music ready for you, and let's get this rocking. Put the hands on the shoulders one time.
We're doing it.
So on 3, forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus, fly,
and keep growing. Yes. Yeah, you are Solutionaries. You are in the club. That's our secret handshake. Now you know it.
There you go.
I love it.
I love it.
Now we are ready to go. Now we're ready to do these 5 questions. And these 5 questions are questions I love to ask everyone. So I'm going to start with ladies first, of course.
Okay.
So Bridget, every single day, I know you wake up, you look yourself in the mirror, and there's a reason why you go out and be the best version of yourself. And you do it on a daily. And it, applause to you, because you really have to put yourself out there when you're doing things like we do, being on social media, being on the news, talking about what's going on, asking questions of some of the greatest in this industry. What makes you want to do that every single day? What is your why?
Well, I have 10 whys, 5 children and 5 grandchildren.
Oh,
so
amen.
those are my whys right there. I think every day Jim and I do this together, and well, my biggest why right here, I should say.
Why? Why am I your why?
And the industry, of course, there's so many whys, but I mean, comes right down to family and wanting to do what's right by them and kind of build a legacy for them as well. So those are my whys.
That's right.
Wow, those are great whys. I mean, those many whys, and why you are, Jim, is because she got to pick you, right?
Damn.
What you picked is the one you
Right. Boy, what a prize she got.
You win, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think all of us men are the lucky ones, right? So
That's right.
Definitely.
absolutely. So same question goes to you, Jim.
The why for me is to educate the automotive industry that I've been in for now over 40 years, and to bring them more information on a daily basis, if not an hourly basis, so that they can run their dealerships better, so that people working inside of dealerships can have a better career and make more money, to have a better life for themselves. So always to be helping others. That's really what we're all about here at CBT News and our other networks, and which we'll talk a little bit about today. But that's what gets us up every day. How do we help people? And it's over 1 million people that work inside of retail automobile dealerships every day. And we try to provide them with the news, information, and best practices that they need to get along in life and to have a better career. That's my
What a
why.
massive why. What a massive why. What a legacy you're leaving. And that's
And
what
of course, Bridget. Bridget is my wife. Because if Bridget's not happy, then all of this is for naught. So,
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Cheers to both of you all for that. I'm gonna cheers to that, Lou. No doubt.
there you go.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Got our-
That's right. We got our coffee.
Yes.
That's right. And our CBT cups, which we'll be
That's
sending
right.
to you.
Yes, please. We'll take some and we will show those off. So that being said, that's an amazing reason why. And there's so many things, and those things all come together, and I believe that we all have purpose. Every single day we have different things that motivate us, right? And we could find it when we just look into our wives' eyes and just be so in love at that moment. That's a huge why for us to have drive and purpose. But at the same time, it's looking at your children and knowing you're leaving legacy through them, and your grandchildren, seeing that your children are leaving legacy through their grandchildren, through their children. And that's even more special. And that stuff will amplify everything that you do. And I love and honor that you both cherish those kind of moments.
Absolutely.
We do.
That's so
The
true.
legacy is a thread that I'm starting to see rise up in the desire of the auto industry right now. There's more and more of a focus on wanting to take ourselves to a point where we're more concerned about the next generation than we are about this generation.
That's right.
And we're starting to see that everywhere. It's on the tone of so many great people in the industry that they are focusing back inward. What I love about what's even on the screen right now when highlighting you two is that this is a husband and wife teamed up together, right? Superheroes with their own incredible outfits on, right? Doing what it takes to make sure that they're having an impact together, right? It's two voices, one sound. I believe that when we start to unify all of the sounds of the industry together to bringing light, bringing positive energy, bringing hope, bringing commitment, bringing all of the things that are the great stuff of really humanity, right? If we're bringing that to the forefront on screen and on the lot, then it becomes something that now changes what people say about an industry.
That's right.
Changes what people think about an industry, and changes on whether or not people feel about even coming into an industry.
That's
right. Because there's a lot of veils, right? And as we start to pull these veils out of the way, I want to know what kind of did it for you, both of you. What did it for those that see you on the screen? They would think that maybe this was your blood. You came up in this, right? This is exactly how you were fused and made to be, right? Just because it comes so natural. But what brought you to the automotive? And I guess we'll kick it with you first, Jim.
Yeah. So I started, in the automotive industry back when I was 18 years old, and right out of high school, and said, well, what I'm going to do is help put myself through college, and I'll get a job. I'm number 7 in a family of 8 kids. And it was kind of like, hey, go out and, make your own money if you want to do things in life. So I learned that early on. And so I got into the auto industry and really never turned back. I loved the industry and started out as an automobile salesperson. And as many that are listening have moved up through the ranks to ultimately become a dealer principal and a managing partner at a very successful Toyota dealership, and sold my interest in that in 2003 and moved on and opened up a marketing company that I later exited and sold to my son and daughter, and predominantly my son, who runs it today, and which is Force Marketing. But
check out the
never
Force.
looked back.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So So that was kind of what did it for me. I loved the industry. I love helping people on the consumer side. And then as a manager, I loved helping salespeople and grow their careers as well. So it's been an industry that's been very good to myself and to our family, and we're extremely grateful for it. And really, CBT News started as kind of a passion project to help give back. It was our way of giving back to an industry that's been great. But so many people caught on and said, wait a minute, it's a great project. We want to advertise with it. We want to subscribe to it. We want this thing to grow. So that's what we're all about today. So
Wow.
you want to talk about your
Whew.
Yeah, let's pass that to Bridget, because that is huge news.
Sip on. That was awesome.
No, honestly, you get back what you put into this industry. And you know why it's been so good to you and your families? Because you have given to this industry for so long. And I'm going to tell you firsthand, I know I dealt with Force Marketing back in the day. I know how great they are. The reputation was fantastic. For me as a staffed event company that wasn't that big, I needed good mail. I needed good advertising and marketing for my sales. Sure. And you always knocked it out the park for us.
Oh, good. Good. It's good.
Appreciate it. What you do for the news now is second to none. You guys do it so classy. You make it feel real and honest and true. And marketing and advertising and the way people come in and want to be part of it, it's so what you put into it is why you're getting back everything you're getting back now. So congratulations to you. Let's pass that on to Bridget. Bridget, what got you into this industry yourself?
Well, it's funny, when I met Jim, he was running Force at the time, and constantly talked about this platform. Dealers didn't have really a platform where they could go and get information and news and best practices and all of these things. He talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. And so
she was tired of me talking about it.
No, it was great. It was great. I was like, this is a great idea. I wasn't in the automotive industry, but by osmosis of knowing him, I felt like I was. And so one year for his birthday, I bought him a URL, and it was cbtnews.com.
That's right. True story.
So from that point forward, we started it together. And
that's right.
And
she said, you've got to do this thing. And I bought you the URL, and we're going to get a website, and you're going to do this, and I'm going to help you. And the rest is history.
And it is.
My goodness, I want to jump through with a high five right now.
I know, like, that's great, and that's what I would call true support from the spouse. When they see something, they felt something, they get this nudge.
That's right.
God nudges, right? Just like,
that's right. Yeah. And that's what I needed. That's what we both needed at the time, and we felt it filled a void that was out there for so long in the industry. Automotive News, while they do just a phenomenal job. We looked into their numbers. About 82% of their subscribers are actually on the OEM and supplier side. So that was why all of the news and information that you see in automotive news is really geared towards, in many cases, to the supplier side of the industry. Well, as you guys know, being in the retail side of the industry, we're kind of our own unique. We have our own set of unique needs, and we look at the industry through a different set of glasses than the OEMs do. And we really never had, until CBT, we never had our own voice out there. We never had our own platform to do interviews, best practices, great content, specifically designed for dealers. We've got a kind of a value proposition here, and that is to say that if a story does not help a dealer sell or service more cars, then why are we doing the story? And that's really at the core of everything that we do. And we ask ourselves that with every piece of content and every interview that we do. Is this helping dealers, not OEMs, they have to get their own, but does it help a dealer sell another car or service another car? And I say dealer, but I mean dealership and their personnel. Do we help them be successful? 100%. If the answer is no, don't run the story. So
love that. At the end of the day, it does help the OEM. At the end of the day, when the dealers are better at what they do, guess what happens? They make a lot more money too. And it's one thing feeds another. And the most beautiful part is that you find it where the people are, right? Where the ones that, to me, are on the streets doing what they're supposed to do, helping other people be able to live better in life by getting that nicer, newer vehicle, by solving their transportation problems and getting them to where they need, solving that desire for them, helping them get it, right? So, and that's what we do. And we teach that. And you all, like I said, are great inspiration for that, and really encourage people like Lou and I to be able to give the right news and help dealers and salespeople get better at what they do. But most importantly, make people in this world see how great this industry is, and come on in. You know, all you people out
Right.
there that have never thought about this industry. Look at Bridget. You know, Bridget got in this industry, and look how great she is for this industry.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Saying, like, it's you wouldn't think that path would happen for you. I didn't get in this industry by purpose. This was all by luck.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's tons of those stories out there, and that's and it's great. And I'm so thankful for it every single day. 20 years in for me now, and I'm just blessed that this business has done what it's done for me. It's really encouraged me to be the best version of myself. I've been able to do that through my family, through other people's families, through my sales staff, so many ways. So that is why this industry is great. So come on in, people.
That's right.
Come on
Here,
in.
here to
It
that.
was great.
Amen. Amen.
Cheers.
Yep.
Cheers.
no
So, you know, we all do this and we all come up this. And you're talking about 4 decades, Jim. I mean, big time, man. That's amazing. And,
Yeah.
and I don't see an end in sight for you because you keep bringing the new and you know what's going on. You have your pulse on the industry right now.
Oh, yeah.
So applause to that. That's something that's not easy, especially over these last handful of years to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So we've had mentors, though. We've had people who've helped us along the way. I know that you've been lucky enough to be mentor for other people, and you still are, but we still look for mentors, people who've been somewhere we want to go. Who have been some big mentors for you? And I'm going to start with Bridget this time. Bridget, who have been some great mentors for you along your path?
You know, I think the biggest mentor for me along my path isn't so much on a professional, but more on a personal. And the personal definitely helped in my professional, and that was my mother. She was a very hard worker. Her work ethic was just incredible. And I really learned more by watching her. And then, of course, in many conversations with her as well. But I think she really taught me what it means to, you know, the hard work, you're going to be rewarded in the end. And that's what it is. There's no, you know, lucky breaks. You're not going to sit back and it's not going to come to you. You got to go out and you have to get it. And she really, more than anything, showed me that. And it has helped so tremendously with my work ethic today and over the last 10 years building CBT and something that we wanted so badly. And we knew we could do it. We knew we could get it. We just worked really hard and continue to work hard. I mean, we are the same, I think, as far as the passion and the work and everything that we put into CBT. We're the same today that we were 10 years ago when we started. And it's fun, and it seems like every day is a new day and fresh.
For sure.
But I will say, back to your question, the biggest mentor in my life was my mother. No longer with us, but she lives on in me every day. So my biggest mentor for sure.
She is with us every single day through you, and that is powerful, and that is honor. That's honor and legacy and love.
Yeah.
Woo!
Man.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That
Yeah.
is awesome. That is really awesome.
Sure.
And then for you, Jim, who's been mentors for you?
Well, on a professional side, and you know, I've had the benefit of working with some incredible car people and individuals and business people. One was Jim Moran. Early on, I worked for Jim Moran and Associates, and he actually, you know, came to work every day at Southeast Toyota and Jim Moran headquarters and down in Deerfield Beach, Florida. I lived in Boca Raton at the time, and so he was a huge mentor of mine at the time, and looked up to him. And he's just an incredible individual. As you know, he owns Southeast Toyota Distributors, and they have this 5 southern state area for the distributorship of new Toyotas, in addition to Jim Moran and Associates, or JM&A, which is a great company. And so that was one. And then during my career, I went to work for AutoNation as an executive in their corporate headquarters in Fort Lauderdale, and worked under Mike Maroney, and who I still to this day good friends with, and just an incredible car guy. And in addition to that, we both worked for Wayne Huizinga. I mean, what name, who in business doesn't know Wayne Huizinga, right? He's actually one of the only founders that started and founded 3 Fortune 500 companies, and through Waste Management, Blockbuster, and AutoNation. And the guy was just an incredible human being to be around and follow, and to use as a mentor in my life. And there's been so many along the way, but those 3 really stand out and have meant a lot to me.
Wow.
Those mountain movers. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's people that have found great obstacles for whether industry or just people in general, and help get those things kind of out of the way. And man, what a mentor mountain that was.
Right. I've been so blessed in my life to be able to, work with these individuals and work for them and look up to them and be in the same room with them, to have somebody like Wayne Huizinga at the head of the, conference room discussing, the future of the auto industry and his perspective on it. Because as you know, he wasn't a car guy. He was a waste management guy and then went to Blockbuster and had a very unique view on it. But today, AutoNation's the largest automotive retailer, obviously with Lithia coming up as a
Lithia is trying right now, no doubt. I've been reading about them.
going.
Wow, they are right there.
They're right there,
very
right?
soon. It might be very soon. So
That's right.
It's fun to watch that. You see AutoNation will probably be like, oh, hold on a second. We'll be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But no, amazing mentorship and great opportunity to really get poured into by people like that. That's one of those times you come with an empty cup, right? You're like,
and I might add that in both of those cases, in the case of Jim Moran and Wayne Huizinga, both founders of companies that where everyone said it'll never work, people won't, consumers won't respond and OEMs won't respond, and there's no way that you can do this, and we hear what you're saying and your heart's in the right place, but it's just not going to work. And lo and behold, look what happened. And that's kind of the spirit in which we live at CBT News every day from the time we started. When a lot of people said, oh, you're building a studio that looks like a TV studio, you're wasting a lot of money, you're going to invest $1 million or more. What do you, and are you going to have people that come back? You're going to have advertisers. It's not going to work. Automotive News would have already done it. And here we are 10 years later with a tremendous following and just ad partners that we're so blessed to have. And so you can't listen to that stuff, people. If you hear that negative, get away from it, move on.
Right. That's why having mentors like Wayne is so important, because you've seen that he had those doubters hit him and he was like, no,
that's right.
I have a vision and my vision says this is what's going to happen.
Yes.
So let's go against the grain and let's do something different.
That's right.
And with you all, the great dynamic is that
Man, it's amazing.
you can have an entire industry say no, but you say, no, my wife said, go start. She said,
Right.
That's right. That's right. They underestimated Bridget's willpower.
I'm going to go do it, right? Whole other item, right?
That's right.
Bridget says yes. Everybody else says no, but Bridget says yes. So.
That's all I had to hear.
That matters. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially just for us as people that do have close relationships, right? We will make mountains move for the people we care for. And
That's right.
we will also move mountains if we just have somebody else to grab a shovel too. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
We can do so much more together if we can just go after it together. But I don't need y'all to say yes. I don't need y'all to agree. When we started this show, I just wanted him to laugh at what I was saying, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I wanted to have fun talking about what I wanted to talk
You
about.
guys are doing a phenomenal job. We watch you all the time. We can't, it's just, we love what you're doing. So keep it up. And as I said on the opening, this industry needs every viewpoint that it can get their hands on and all of the content. And I think you guys make it fun and you make it entertaining and you make the industry as great as it is. So keep doing what you're doing. Seriously.
Wow.
That's see that right there. That's a little piece that we're going to probably put on social media later.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. Anybody that's listening to this needs to tune into this podcast every time it's on, because you guys do a great job. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you just made my heart explode, and we appreciate those words.
That's genuine love.
But that's it,
right?
And just like you had doubters, we did. I remember having people that, the closest people are usually the biggest doubters, right? And you're like,
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yep.
How much information, how much stuff changes in automotive? What's so funny was, like, as soon as they said that, there went coronavirus, right? It was like, there it is. There's some big change right there. And then
that's right.
Now we have the chip crisis, the used car crisis. You can keep going, but it's going to happen every year. There's always going to be something. But what we are as the industry, or we are resilient. What we are as an industry, we are strong. And the best of the best always look for different ways to get better. And I tell you, this industry is allowing us to do that every year. Every 3 months, we get ways to get better. And I love that. And I'm so honored to be part of this industry with people like you. And, it's a lot of fun to do this. So that being said,
so much that we can lean into on that.
Yeah,
and there's so many victories that we have. And again, I want to make sure that where we value the victory most is what it is right there between you two. Right there. That is the ultimate victory, right? Everybody can be against you, but as long as Bonnie and Clyde are together, we're going to go down.
Bonnie and Clyde. Wait a minute.
but as you guys, it doesn't matter what the threat is. It doesn't matter what it is. You guys have each other, whether you're in the big studio or it's just you two, right?
Yeah.
Starting with the URL and then becoming the most known voice in automotive for the authority in what's going on. That's huge. All of that's big. And these victories are easy to see, right? We get to see the victories. We get to see the big, we're all winning, right? We're on Car Guy Coffee, right? We're brewing solutions. Woo.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
now we know we've made it, by the way. It took us 10 years. It took us 10 years, but now we're on with the coffee guys.
We made it together.
Okay, we can go home now. Thank you.
Right here, right now in the cafe.
But now that you have, I want to know, see, so let's say we are at the pinnacle. Plug into Jonathan Dawson and all our friends that we just spent some time with, right? But let's say we get
Jonathan's
up,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
and we meet with these incredible people like you. But up to here, again, we see a lot of the great stuff, but we know that a lot of our character is based off of some of the hardest lessons we've ever learned.
Sure.
So for you all, what has been the hardest lesson you've had to learn getting to where it is that you are now? Who wants to take that one?
That is a good question.
The lesson I learned is that if I'm not successful, Bridget is out of here. So
I could say the
same. I think I say the hardest lesson. You don't know what you're biting off sometimes when you open up start a company, and I've founded a number of different businesses, and some did very well and others not so well. And but you continue to learn the lesson that you got to jump in and start. But sometimes you learn the lesson that, wow, this thing's going to cost us a heck of a lot more than we anticipated to get going. And so everything, I think everybody underestimates sometimes the costs in which it really does take to get going in businesses, especially one like this that's heavy on content and writers and producers and bookers and studios and what have you. And it took some time to get some traction from the advertising world that was out there. Well, not a lot of time, but a few years that we were basically bankrolling this thing. And there were a number of discussions. Should we keep going? Do we think it's out there? Do we think that those advertisers are coming? And, lo and behold, about the second and maybe 2.5 years in, they started coming in a very big way. And we were so thankful that we hung on. So the lesson there is that we underestimated the cost. And we were so happy that we hung in the game and we stayed in the game. And so many people, as you know, entrepreneurs will quit just before it's about to get really great.
Right.
And that's a huge mistake so many can make. I understand why they make it as an entrepreneur. I really do. But so many people give up right before it's about to break. And we're so glad we didn't. So
we are too. The industry should be very thankful for that. It's a lot of times we are inches from gold. I think I'm guilty of doing that a multitude of times in my life. So factual. So for Bridget, same question. I know in your life, in your industry that you've been doing this for the last 10 years, I'm sure it could be a very similar answer to what he has to say. But from your perspective, what has been one of the hardest lessons for you to learn how to do what you're doing today?
Yeah, I think, kind of to piggyback off of that, the financial obligation, the time obligation, like I said before, we have 5 kids and 5 grandkids, and to do what we do every day is a constant balancing act where, it's just, like I said before, hard work, but also just the balancing act of the family and making sure everything's, it's like you get the spinning plates, you got one over here, you got one, and then this one needs us. And so I think the biggest lesson from that is that at the end of the day, you do the best you can, and it's all going to work out. Everybody's happy and healthy, and we're thriving, and that's all we can ask for at the end of the day. But the biggest lesson for sure was the just figuring out how to balance it all. And I feel like that we're doing a really good job at that now. 10 years in.
That's right.
Our kids are older, which is easier, but
let me tell you this quick little story. When we decided to put CBT together, we said, well, we got to have a female and a male anchor, just like the news does, right? And everyone said, you don't need that many. You don't need a daily show. You don't need 2 anchors. And now it's going to be daily, and it's going to be 2 anchors. So we were interviewing female anchors. We already had our male anchor that came in, and we hired him. He did a great job. And female anchors, we were bringing them in. The agencies that we were working with would send in these female anchors, and we would be in the control room, and we'd load up the teleprompters. We'd have them read, and we're like, nope, she's just not getting it. She's just not getting it. And about the 5th one that we interviewed, Bridget was in the control room, and she said, I think I can do this. And I was like, yes, it finally hit her, And sure enough, we said, all right, let's try that. And she got in front of and nailed it. And
I don't know if I nailed it right away.
You nailed it right away. Well, way better than what we had coming in. So I think she's being very humble right now, but she has done over the last 10 years, reading the news every single day, doing the interviews that she does. And she's never had any kind of this kind of training or background. And it's funny because when we talk to people, they go right up to Bridget and they say, well, now what station did you come from? And she laughs and says, I've never come from a station. I wasn't in broadcast, wasn't in journalism. And but yet every single day she does an awesome job. So
she kills it.
Yeah.
You're amazing. And that's a big kudos. That's a big kudos right there. So cheers that up.
Isn't it? I know that is.
You're right. You know, and I guarantee, and it's the experience that she has. It comes from the confidence that you poured into her, also. You know, and that's something that you see. And I'm sure when you were watching, Bridget, when you were watching all those ladies just fail after fail, you're like, come on, this is so simple. What are you doing? Right?
I was like, I mean, I never thought of, I wasn't thinking I was going to end up in that chair. And at the time, I don't think I wanted to do it either. So
I wanted her to do it. I knew she could do it.
For you, ladies.
But it was good that little self-discovery. She's like, I think I can do this. I'm like, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that was key. You had to see those other interviews. You had to see it
Right.
done, not the way your heart felt it being, right? And there's nobody that's going to bring it from the heart like you did. And that's what I believe is, again, the secret ingredient is these two beings together, right? And then from there, a great legacy comes that is the network that so many are plugged into. I mean, if you could put a pencil to how many people have been impacted by what you all do, I mean, goodness, it really humbles you. That's why it's easy to stay humble.
We got to come on here every week.
Thank you. We love
Thank
doing
you very
it.
much. We really do.
We do, and you know, and we can tell, and that's why it's important. You know, I know every single day there's always going to be different challenges and different things that will poke at us sometimes and make us go, man, why are we doing this? But we just have to just look at that big why. You know, from looking at your grandchildren and your children to looking at the purpose that you're doing, how you're helping the industry, to everything that's going on. It makes you go, you know what, I'm up, I'm doing this, let's go. Right. And you get to do that with passion and vigor and love. And most importantly, love this industry, what it's done for your family, what it's done for so many people that you've witnessed. Your own son who's crushing it with force marketing out there, doing with the smile. He's got a nice swagger to him too, you know, and doing his own thing all the time, but he's amazing, right? So, but that's what I mean. This legacy, what you're doing, what you're pouring out, these 4 decades of really just giving back, and eventually it's going to come back, and it's coming back, and it's going to keep coming back to you, and you deserve it all. You know, that's what I want to come down to this 5th question that we have here. It's about your greatest reward. Yeah. And sometimes we do all these things and we don't think about the rewards. It's because it's not about that, because we smile, we're happy, we have this love. So love is enough, right? But there are some rewards involved in here. There's some things that have happened to you that made you go, this is why I did it. So for you, I'm going to go with Bridget first, ladies first, just like we started.
Absolutely. It's over the last few years, we've been noticing this more and more all the time. But when we're out at events and we're seeing people face to face, we're also getting emails. But when we get the comments that you impacted us, you impacted my dealership, you impacted my employees, you impacted in such a positive way, and we can't thank you enough. So when we get, and we don't do this for any of this, but I think that's when we truly feel like
that's when it clicks.
Our mission that we work on every day is resonating with these people and is working. It's it's all what we're doing is all worth it. Then when we know that we're helping people, helping certain individuals. There was a story recently. We were at one of the conferences and we had somebody that came up to Jim, and I don't know if you want to take the story because it was your story, but
you're doing fine.
Jim really took the lack of diversity in our industry and really, made it a platform, and kind of we needed to showcase the issues here and how much work we needed to do. And I've noticed with the companies, I've noticed with NADA that everybody is kind of coming together, but I really do think that you spearheaded that action from here. And he had someone come to him at a conference and say, I would not have been hired if it weren't for you and what you're doing on the diversity issue in our industry.
Yeah.
So that was a big one.
That was a huge win.
Making
about
big
finally,
moves
it really clicks when you do hear that from an individual that says, you had such a positive impact in their life, and you were bringing it all together. The good work that we do here, especially on the diversity issue, if we didn't touch on diversity, if we didn't jump in with both feet on the diversity issue, who was going to? It wasn't coming from the associations. It certainly wasn't coming from automotive news. So we said, no, this is perfect for us. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about Black Lives Matter and where that is as it relates to retail automotive, and even on the wholesale side with OEMs. And we've done so many shows on that, and hoping that we're making a positive impact, on that issue in this industry. We've gotten a lot of, mail about that, or emails about that said, they went both ways. They were, hey, why are you doing this? The industry's fine. We don't have a problem, of course. And but then we got a lot of emails, and 2-to-1, that said, thank you so much for bringing this up. We've been wanting some media platform in retail automotive to talk about this, and so amazing. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And that's very, very rewarding. That's worth more than any big, huge check that we might get from one of our advertisers or whatever.
You will. But the fact of the matter is because you do work like that. Why wouldn't I want to put my advertising dollars to a place that's speaking my language, right? Speaking the language of the people, not just the normal, right? We're talking about, we want diversity. I love that. I love diversity. I believe all perceptions matter. Like, everybody's perspective, you should really listen to it. Even if you don't agree with it, you don't have to. But understand it, because until you really understand it, then why do you disagree with it?
That's
so right. I love that you're talking about that type of platform. That is huge. I'm a big advocate of that. Lou, being that he has Latin descent, I have Asian descent inside me also, so it's like, to us, to talk about diversity, inclusivity, and all those types of things that we need to talk about in this industry. And I love that you're right there at the forefront of it, and you are a big voice in it, because your voice does matter. So to hear somebody like Jim or Bridget talk about, hey, this is what we need to talk about, this is what needs to be talked about, then people are going to listen. And yes, you're going to have some people that are against it. Maybe they don't see it because they're clouded a little bit, but we all know there's not enough of it in our industry right now. And the more that we can have of it, women, even, let's not even talk about color. Let's just talk about women. We need more women.
That's right.
Here. That's right. Many of them coming on their way. There's some managers, but how many are we talking about executive level? Let's get them up there. Let's talk about that, because I'm going to tell you something. These GMs, these owners that are women, are crushing the game. Liza, come on now. Liza Borges, shout out to her. Wow. You want to talk about a leader.
Incredible representative for the industry. No question about it.
No doubt.
And car guys and car gals, and all of you that are listening, whether you're hearing this on the podcast in the future, or you're watching right now live, or however you're taking this in, understand that there are incredible car guys and car gals that are actually just beyond the veil of this industry, and incredible people like Jim and Bridget are here bridging that gap. They are showing us that there is a way to do this, and you have to be okay. And the best way to stay integral about what you do is to have the conversation, whatever the case is. If you are the most known, right, inside of the industry, have the conversation. If it is you just there on the lot, have the conversation. But the tough conversations have to be had. We ask those conversations to be done with our sales pro to our client, with our service writer to our client, right? We those sometimes there's hard conversations. Man, you need a lot more work done than what you initially thought. But this is the conversation we need to have, and now let's have it in a trusting manner so that we can go to the next level.
Right.
And if this is our platform and our service to the industry and our love for the industry, then yes, of course, we offer it up to say, let's have the conversation, because it needs to be talked about. And if we keep ignoring it, it doesn't get talked about, right? And it doesn't ever fix itself. And so with that, we believe that is a common issue that the industry had, which was what we call now as percolating problems, right? And that's why we brew solutions.
And that's what we've been doing, and I love that you guys brew solutions. We're not, because we need to stop percolating problems.
That's
We need to talk about it, be aware, but we need to talk about the solution for these things. And that's what happens at CBT News, my friends. They bring solutions for your everyday problem at the dealership, everyday problem with your manufacturer, everyday problem with your service, everyday problem with how your sales process is. They have it. They have those solutions. Just come check them out. I know who you have on your shows, and I love them all. Plots to every single one that come out, and they get to be, special speakers, and they get to do interviews. I love watching your information. It's great information. So folks, you guys need to check it out. But let's talk about great news that's going on over there. I know you were saying you were going to talk about some things. So I want to talk about, in the closing of this, I want to talk about what's happening right now at CBT News. What's hot, what's not, what's going on, what's making you guys excited and hot.
Well, right now the industry, we're 10 years in, we're over 5,000 executive interviews, video interviews that we've done with OEM executives, dealer principals, vendors, best-selling book authors and such. So we're so excited about the last 10 years. But for everybody that's listening right now, you ain't seen nothing yet, because we're working on some really cool things that we're going to be rolling out here in the next 90 days that you'll see, on our website and in podcasts that are coming up. We just finished the construction of our podcast studio, so we're going to be out there with some podcasts and such. But we're so blessed to have a perspective from where we are. The industry is going through such enormous change right now. Sometimes we talk to dealers, and I walk away thinking that dealer has really got their blinders on, because they don't understand modern retailing or digital retailing. They don't understand that Tesla and Rivian and Lucid is breathing down their back to say, let's do away with the franchise system, and let's take our products directly to consumers. We don't need franchise dealers anymore. And you've got companies like Carvana and Vroom that have completely changed the way people can buy cars. Now they just pick up a phone and buy a car. It's delivered to their front door. I say the franchise system and the franchise dealer is under attack. So we cannot get enough content to dealers on a daily basis to help them to make the big decisions about their dealerships, their people, hiring the next generation of people, compensation plans, inventory levels, overcoming the chip shortages. All of those wonderful things are all happening at the same time to today's car dealer. So they need people like you doing what you do all the time and getting the word out, and your perspective, which is so vitally important. Keep doing what you do, and I can't say it enough. And also companies and platforms like CBT News. And so what we're excited about is what's happening in the industry right now. But as I said, we're 10 years in, but we have only just gotten started. We're so excited about some of the things that you're going to be seeing here on CBT News that we'll be rolling out. Right now we produce 9 weekly shows with all of the top individuals in the industry, hosting them, from Brian Pash, David Kane, Jason Rice, David Lewis, Jonathan Dawson, Steve Greenfield, Don Reed, Frank Lopes. I mean, they're all right here at CBT News with their own shows. So we are so incredibly blessed to have a great foundation. And as I said, that's what excites us every day, to get up and talk about what are we doing tomorrow,
Oh my goodness. And like I was saying, right. It's exciting news.
Sorry about that. You got me going there.
It never stops. This is all day, every day.
It's too much. You got me drinking coffee. I don't drink coffee at this time. So.
That's right.
Welcome to Car Guy
Got
Coffee.
him caffeinated. That's right. We're caffeinated cultures everywhere we go, right? We're so excited that you're talking about the next 10 years, because you're right. And I'm excited to see what happens over the next 10 years for you all. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see. You just named so many people that I consider mentors or friends, and people that I lean into when I need a little help. And, we're excited to start this relationship with you all. And I'm excited that we had you on the show. Bridget, what are you excited about that's coming up in the next 10 years?
Well, everything that he just talked about, I think that,
Want me to keep going?
No. He said it all. But anyway, in business, you have your ups and downs and your kind of lulls and your, highs, lows, all those things. But right now, Jim and I have this renewed energy, and it's exciting to get up every morning and talk about what's coming up next and what we're going to do and how we're going to make it better and how we're going to make the industry better. So I'm excited about all the things that he just mentioned, but just really, I'm excited just to be here today talking to you guys about it and what's coming next. So,
which, by the way, I should say this, that we're never coming on again unless you agree right now to all of your audience and our audience that you agree to come on CBT News, because we love what you're doing. We'd love to have you guys on our show. So,
my goodness.
Well, let's see.
We'll do that. No doubt, no problem. Absolutely honored and blessed to do that.
Okay. We're going to hold you to it.
We're going to be scheduling this right after these messages.
Absolutely.
So we got Hannah Lipson. She says, excited to see what's in store for CBT News over the next 90 days. And she's so right, because it's going to change up. We got 90-day cycles, right?
That's right.
We'll all be watching and subscribing. That's 100% right. Folks, make sure everybody,
do that.
all you solutionaries out there, subscribe, watch, share their information, get to know them. If you haven't been watching their show, you're missing out. We have 2 of the greatest ever to do it, the GOATs of the news, of automotive news, bringing it to us for real, my friends. And I'm excited that we had you here. I'm excited that we had some fun with you. Got to learn a lot more about your story.
Thank you for having us.
You both are superstars, and we're honored to have you.
So
thank you so
is-
much for having us.
Yes.
Oh, well,
absolutely.
we are honored to have you here, and we definitely are excited about having you all jump in and contribute as much as you want and as much as you are available inside of the conversations that we have going on in the future. We're definitely going to get a follow-up because every good sales conversation has a great follow-up.
That's right.
And we're going to see what's going on with you all after that 90 days as everything is cooking and booking with you guys.
Can't wait.
But you all know that we got to end this the same way that we got this started. So for those of you that are still here, drop a coffee cup emoji, say cheers to our incredible guests, blow them up, like, share, subscribe, show them all the love, and
That's right.
please let them know how much it is that we do honor them for their contribution to the auto industry. And that's ultimately all that we have to pour up to you. If the best that we can give you is a good cup of coffee and a conversation, so be it. We brought a smile to your face and made sure that you know that at least this car guy and this subprime hero honor and value what it is that you bring to the industry.
That's
and
right.
we want some more of it. But as we do unite, we are going to forgive, focus, and fly and drop some F-bombs as we end this interview. So join us as we rock and roll. Some
get
forgive,
outta
focus,
here.
fly, and get this rocking. Let's get it one more time, everybody. Woo! Get your day rocking, get your day going. Car guys and car gals, hopefully you've enjoyed this interview, but let's forgive, focus, and fly together. If you're in the car, put that one hand on it. On 3, 1, 2, 3, forgive.
Focus, fly, and keep growing. Woo! Yes, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Honored.
Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you. You all have a great week. Thank you for bringing what you always
You too.
bring. We look
Yes.
forward to
Thanks, everybody.
It's been
the
great.
future.
Yes,
Y'all have
yes.
a great week.
All
Car
right.
guys and car gals, I'm Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And you have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast with the one,
the only
Jim and Bridget Fitzpatrick. And they are 100%
CGC approved. That's right.
Get you some of that, everybody.
Let's brew, my friends. You all have a
great.
blessed day. Don't percolate problems. Brew solutions.
Solutions.
That's right. Keep
See you
growing, my
later.
friends.
That's awesome.